Hi, my name is Lisa Gustafsson and I work on the Ukrainian Professional Support Center, which is a project co-financed by the European Union. And welcome to the first short video class about interviews. So, first of all, interview. What will we talk about today? Well, what to say in the interview, what questions to ask, and maybe a few words on what not to say. Let's go. So, what is a job interview? Of course, it's a conversation with an employer where he or she asks you questions to find out if you are suitable for the job. But this is also an opportunity for you to ask questions to see if the job would suit you. So there's not a one-way communication where the employer gets to pick, but it's actually a meeting between the two of you. And I have a friend who used to say that uh, an interview is like a date, but maybe without the flowers and the love, because it's actually a meeting where the both of you will meet and see if you like each other. So, common questions. The absolute most common question during a job interview would probably be, tell us a little about yourself. And here you should talk very briefly about your private life, about your family, where you live, your interests, and about your most important working experiences. And don't be too detailed. If there's something the interviewer wants to know more about, he or she will ask for more details. And the guideline here is not to let the presentation be longer than 3 minutes, probably shorter. And talk to yourself in front of the mirror so you know what to say and you don't end up talking a lot about your cats and your interests. That's not why you will be hired. So practice on this one. Another common question, why are you applying for this job? And here you need to explain why you want to work in this industry or in this position at this company. And let them know that you want this job, not any job. Again, same as the date. If you're going to a date and your date gets back to you and say, you know what, I would like to meet you again because I really need a boyfriend or a girlfriend. For me, I wouldn't go on that second date. I want to know that this person is interested in me for who I am. And it's the same thing with the employers. Of course, they want you to be willing to work with them because they have an interesting company. So think about that. Why do you want to work there or in that industry? What is your fire for them? What do you love about them? And you could also bring up specific examples from your previous jobs where you can show that you have similar experience or skills. You can tell them like, well, since I'm good at this, I've already worked in this kind of industry, I think I would suit you very good. So do you have any questions for us? By asking questions, you show that you're interested. Again, the date. If you are in a date and the date keeps talking about him or herself all the time, feels kind of boring, doesn't it? But if you show that you're interested in them too, they will feel like, oh, I like you. But make sure not to ask things that are already clear from the ad or can be found first thing in their website. So think about it. What do you want to know about your new employer? And of course, I put up some examples for you that you can ask the employer. First of all, what are the duties? What are the tasks? Maybe it's not totally clear in the ad. So talk about that, ask about that. Are there any opportunities for growth within the company? If you can see like, well, my competence is a bit higher or more than this, maybe this is my first step into this job. So will I be able to take steps in my career here? How many employees do you have? How many will be in my team or in my department? How often do you work in the evenings or weekends, if that's a job that you will need to do that? Do your employees stay with you for a long time? Maybe this company is the typical first job employer where young people come and work for a short while and then move on. Or maybe most of the colleagues have worked there for 15 years. It's interesting to know. Do you have any training courses for your new employees? Good to know. Do you have collective agreements or other insurance? That's also common. The most common is that the company will have collective agreements, but it's always good to ask. And then the question about the salary. I think that you should wait and not take that in the first meeting. If you get called to a second meeting, you can check, and they will probably ask you what you want. But to ask that as the first question, they will see, okay, you're only here for the money. And maybe you are, but of course they want you to really want to work with them, not only for the money. More common questions. How do you handle stress? Stress is common in various situations in many industries. And stress can be a driving force for some, while others can be inhibited and all freeze. So think about how you are affected. You may manage stress by prioritizing, by delegating, or asking for help. How do you do? How would your coworkers describe you? What should old coworkers or other people from your network say about you? Think about that. Ask someone in from your former coworkers or friends what they think. How would they describe you? And share the information that you think is relevant for this position. What's your strength? Why should we hire you? So what makes you special? Talk about how your characteristics meet the company's needs and highlight your previous positive results and give examples. So avoid comparing yourself to other applicants, of course, but the examples is very, very important. Do not just say words, but describe how you are this, have this quality. And select maybe 3 characteristics that you think are relevant to this job and that you're applying for, and check the ad and base it on what's requested. So what words can you use? And again, make sure that you describe how you are all these words, and do not just say 10. Choose the ones that are most suitable in this position. So here are some examples. Attentive. You have total control. You see everything. Ambitious. You dig in and you really put your heart into what you're doing. Analytical. So you think and you see how things act together. Caring. Well, you take care of people, guests, co-workers. Committed and devoted. Also, you're really into this. You want to give 100% of what you're doing. Experienced. You have a lot of experience with you. Flexible. So maybe not bendy, but if someone asks you to do another task today or change your schedule tomorrow, you're okay with that. You're flexible. Focused. You're good at doing what you should and not being all over the place. Helpful. You help people. Innovative. Well, you see new things and new solutions to problems. Motivated. Well, you really want this. Observant. You see guests, you see tasks, nothing will pass by you. Organized. Well, everything is where it's supposed to be. Proactive. You can see a problem coming and you solve it before it shows. A problem solver. Well, you solve problems. Productive. You make things happen. Professional. You're very professional, of course. You'll work like a pro. Resourceful. You have a lot of skills in your luggage. Disciplined. If you're supposed to do this, you will do this and nothing else until it's done. A team player, that's often a very good skill to have, because if you're not working all alone in a basement. Trustworthy. If you say you will show, you will do that. You will do what you're being told, and what you say will happen. Social. So you love people. You're good at talking to people. And strategic. Everything is in order and you have a plan for what will be done. And again, make sure to tell the employer how it shows that you're motivated or focused or devoted or social. And you might get the question what you're not that good in, and make sure to have something to come up with. Because if you tell the employer like, no, I have no weak sides at all, they would think, couldn't be true. So it's better to think about, okay, what am I actually not that good at? And show that, tell them, well, I know that I sometimes talk too loud or much or too little or whatever you're not that good in. And by telling them that, you show that you're aware of it. And also you can tell how you're planning to solve it. And sometimes you can take your not so good skill and kind of mirror that to make sure that, well, it's because you're so very good at this. So I'm sometimes not that good in being quiet, but it's because I'm such a social person. So this was the first one out of 4. Follow us for more videos, for vacancies and a lot of other good stuff. Telegram, Facebook, LinkedIn. See you there.